Welcome back, aspirants. Today we are walking through the Module 1 practice paper for sewage and drainage. Success in this section depends entirely on your precision with terminology. In environmental engineering, close enough often leads to the wrong answer choice. We begin by categorizing wastewater based on its source and pathogen load. Black water is highly contaminated, coming exclusively from the water closet, the toilet. Gray water, often referred to as Sullage in Indian technical standards, originates from kitchen sinks and showers. It contains no human excreta. When these household streams are collected together in municipal pipes, we call the mixture sanitary sewage. This is distinct from storm sewage, which carries only rainwater runoff. There are three primary ways to physically transport these flows. A combined system uses one large pipe for everything. A separate system uses two isolated pipes, one for sanitary sewage and one for stormwater. Finally, a partially separate system carries most sanitary waste in one line, but allows initial rainwater from rooftops to enter as well. Mixing up these source definitions with the physical pipe configurations is the most frequent reason students lose marks in this module. Let's apply these definitions to questions 1 and 2. Question 1 asks for the classification of black water. The answer is option C, wastewater from a water closet. For question 2, drainage specifically refers to the removal of stormwater from roofs and paved surfaces. Option B is the correct choice. Questions 3 and 4 focus on streams with low pathogen loads. For question 3, the stream most suitable for gardening or flushing is graywater, option C. Question 4 asks for the description of Sullage. Because it contains no human excreta, option C is again the correct answer. Question 5 asks you to express these relationships as an equation. Since sanitary sewage is the sum of all household waste before stormwater is added, option B is correct. Sanitary sewage equals black water plus gray water. Establishing these definitions early provides the baseline logic needed to differentiate between more complex system behaviors later. Look at question 6, which asks you to identify gray water sources. Notice that item Q, the water closet, is included in several of the choices. Since we have defined the water closet as a source of black water, it cannot be part of a gray water set. By identifying that Q must be excluded, we can immediately eliminate options A, C, and D. This leaves option B, the shower, washing machine, and wash basin, as the only possible correct answer. In questions 7 and 8, we look at how these systems handle heavy rainfall. Question 8 asks about combined sewer overflow, or CSO. This occurs when a single pipe is overwhelmed by storm volume. As you can see in the diagram, this is physically impossible in a separate system where the pipes are isolated. Therefore, CSO is associated with option B, the combined system. This same logic makes the separate system preferable in high rainfall regions, answering question 7 with option B. Understanding the physical capacity and limitations of the pipe network allows you to systematically eliminate incorrect options. Question 9 addresses capital costs. While a combined pipe is larger in diameter, the separate system requires excavating and laying two completely independent pipe networks. This makes the separate system the most expensive to construct. The correct answer is option C. Now look at question 10. Examiners often present a valid feature of a separate system as a distractor for a combined system question. Option A, requiring two parallel networks, is a disadvantage of a separate system, not a combined one. The actual disadvantage for the combined system is option B. The treatment plant and pumps must be sized for peak storm flow. For questions 11, 12, and 13, remember the specific operational details. Question 11. A partially separate system only carries roof and courtyard runoff, so option B is correct. Question 12. Separate sanitary sewers are more effective at self-cleansing because their flows are consistent, making option A correct. Finally, for question 13, option A provides the correct source-to-stream mapping. While initial construction costs are a primary driver in urban planning, the long-term environmental protection provided by separate systems often justifies the investment. Question 14 uses negative framing, asking you to identify which statement is incorrect. This requires validating every option to isolate the single false claim. Options A, B, and C are all technically accurate descriptions of these systems. Option D claims a partially separate system costs more than a fully combined one. In reality, a partially separate system reduces the required pipe diameter compared to a massive combined line, making it more cost-effective. Because the statement in option D is false, it is the correct answer. Finally, question 15 applies this logic to a coastal township with high rainfall. Since high rain increases overflow risk, we avoid combined systems. A new township allows for the planning of a separate system, making option B the best engineering recommendation. Navigating negative framing and scenario-based questions is the transition from memorizing facts to applying engineering judgment. Part B transitions from multiple choice to short answer responses. These questions test your ability to integrate everything we have discussed into a format suitable for a university semester exam. For short answer 1, differentiate the streams using a table. Define black water by its high pathogen load from toilets, while gray water and Sullage are defined by their origin in basins and showers. Providing 2 specific household examples for each category ensures you meet the full requirements of the question. For short answer 2, use a comparative matrix. Show that while the combined system has lower capital costs, the separate system provides superior self-cleansing behavior and eliminates the risk of untreated sewage overflows during heavy rain. Calculate your score from Part A. A score of 8 to 12 indicates a solid understanding, while 13 to 15 means you are ready for the next module. Please note our updated schedule. We will upload every Tuesday at 5:30 p.m., Thursday at 6 p.m., and Saturday at 10:30 a.m. IST. Formatting complex comparisons into structured matrices is the most effective way to earn full marks on university papers. This is Haimanti from Learn Civil Easy. See you on Tuesday.